Hey, Troon Country Club members. I'm Dr. Andrew Ricks. I'm the physical therapist here at Troon Country Club. Today I've got a golf strengthening and a speed-based workout for when you don't have access to the gym so that you can still work on adding distance to your swing and being able to repeat the same swing over and over because you've got good motor control and stability. So we're going to start with a few pieces of equipment if you have them available. If not, we're going to work on modifications and other things you have at the house. So we've got, if you have a kettlebell, dumbbells, any sort of weight here, medicine ball, a soccer ball, a basketball, something along those lines, and then just basic dumbbells, okay? The strength is going to be on your level, so whatever puts a good strain in that 8 to 15 range is really going to be important for what we're working on today. The exercises that we do that are based on speed, you're going to want to do lighter and heavier, or lighter and more repetitions. The exercises that are more strength-based, we're going to want to do fewer repetitions with heavier weight if you can, but make sure you work into it appropriately, okay? So we're going to start standing up. We're going to start with our dumbbells, and we're going to go into a squat. So you can hold the dumbbells at your chest, and we're going to squat down and stand up, all right? We want to keep these close to our chest. We don't want to hold them out in front of us. That's going to add a huge demand for our back. And one thing you want to really think about is pushing those knees out over your fifth toe. So if you look at my form here, I'm not letting them pinch in as I go down. Rather, I'm keeping them out over that fifth toe, tracing my feet wide as I go up and down. If this is easy for you, you can go overhead and do the same thing to increase the demand quite a bit. If you have shoulder problems, if you have knee problems, doing the same thing in a chair where you sit down in a chair and then you stand up using your arms for support as you need. We're going to achieve the same thing, but my knees are staying behind my toes the whole time. So I'm not squatting here and putting a lot of pressure on my kneecap. Our second exercise, and you can do this with a bag of groceries if you don't have this. You can pick up something around the house, get creative. We're going to do a little deadlift. So I'm going to take the weight and I'm going to hinge my hips back, making sure to keep my spine neutral, chest up, and we're only going to go till we feel a stretch in the hamstrings, and then back up. So we're going to go down and up. Same thing, trying to get 8 to 12 repetitions here. Working on really tightening our butt up at the top, okay? Getting ready for that golf course to help avoid that early extension here. We really want to be able to have a nice, strong base. If this is easy and you want to add a little balance component to it, we can go into a single leg deadlift. Using weight or without it, we're going to go down and up. Down and up. What that looks like from the side, and what you really need to focus on, is keeping that leg that's lifting and your torso as one unit. They're pivoting around your pelvis, so they're coming up and down together. All right? You can do this without weight. You can do this with holding on. I add support on the side that I'm standing on. So I'm going down and up if I'm holding on, trying to get that 8 to 15 range, or at least until that muscle's tired. If it's not tired, you're not working hard enough when you're done, whether that means adding a small dumbbell or removing some assistance to make it a little bit harder, or doing more repetitions. But stop wherever you feel fatigue. Now to create space, I'm gonna move that over, and we're gonna pick up our dumbbells and go into a rows. So a bent over row, we're gonna do a little mini squat, and we're pulling up to our chest. So pulling back, the inside of that dumbbell should come to your shoulders. And we're staying wide, pinching our shoulder blades together. What I don't want to see is some people have a tendency to shrug up here or to get T-Rex arms and they pull it to their chest. Here, I want you to pull wide into your shoulder. That way your shoulder blades are pinching your spine and you're opening your chest as you row. If that's easy, if you want to add a balance component, we're going to go into a split stance and we're going to pull up. All right, unsupported. This is going to get the whole posterior chain. We're going to get our posterior shoulder here, our lat, but that's also going to engage our hip, our hamstring, our quads on the other side, which is going to be important for that golf game because that is the combo that helps generate that downward rotational force that we need to pick up speed. So I like it if you can go into split stance. I like seeing single arm rows working here, and I don't want to see you getting sloppy and trying to start the lawnmower before your dad has to help. I want you pulling that shoulder blade up and letting it down. All right? Now to work on speed, we're going to grab a ball. I've got an 8-pound medicine ball. Whatever works for you. If you have a soccer ball, if you have a tennis ball, it doesn't matter that it's weighted. Weight's going to help us. But we're going to start up high, and we're going to squat and slam it. All right, so this is really going to help us generate speed. This is where we want to do more repetitions, but we want to make sure we're not hurting ourselves or causing pain. So up, slamming it down. Got away from me. We're up and slam. Up, slam. Making sure we squat. Use your abs to help correct from here into the golf, or into that ball slam. All right, so we're squatting. We're following the ball to the ground to generate speed. These powerful, speedy movements are going to help you generate club head speed. We can take this same movement, though, and we can turn this into a rotational, three-dimensional movement that we're doing in golf. So we're going to go over and slam. Over, slam. Now, what I'm being careful of is I'm making sure that my knee doesn't drift or come in either way. My lead leg is going to stay strong, and I'm going to come, and I'm going to slam. So big rotational and slam. Both legs, and then we're going to switch down to the mat. We're going to start working a lot on our core stability and our core control. So we're going to start with an exercise called the dead bug. On this exercise, you're going to lay with your hands straight up to the ceiling, our knees straight up to the ceiling, and we're going to flatten our back. So if you notice, when I flatten my back, my tailbone's going to lift just a touch off, but I'm not bringing my knees to my chest. So I'm here, I flatten my back, and I'm just going to hold. If I can hold this without my back arching or my feet falling or my knees cheating in towards my chest, if I can hold this, I'm going to add an extension with each leg. The leg movement is not the important part, though. We're trying to keep our spine flat as we do this. So holding up and out. Returning to the same starting spot every time. Our shins are parallel to the ground. If this is still too easy, though, add another component. We'll do arm flexion at the same time that we do the leg going down. Again, the important part is our abs and our low back. If when we extend, we're arching our back, you're getting some daylight through here, then you've lost the stability and you're trying to do too much. So hold here. This is the important part. For our golf game, it's important that we're able to repeat the same swing 70, 80, 90 times around. The lower the better. But we don't want to do so much swings that are hard to repeat. We have to work on that motor control, so that stability, that slow movement is going to help us build control that we can translate into our golf game. Sticking with the animal theme, we're going to come into a bird dog. All right, so on our hands and knees. And all we're going to do here is we're going to kick one leg back and back down. What I'm not doing is I'm not rotating up, all right? Or I'm not dropping to kick, and I'm not trying to kick up really high. I'm keeping a neutral spine. I'm trying to stabilize as much as I can, and I'm going to kick straight back. If I can do this, if this is easy, then we're going to combine this with a lift of the arm as well. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We're going for 10 to 15 on each side. Making sure you get to an appropriate level of fatigue. And that just doesn't mean tired. If you are noticing that as you do this, you're starting to wobble, or the more you do, you're rotating, then your muscles are past the fatigue point. So listen to your body, okay? Now we're going to go into an explosive movement here as well. So we're going to go into a mountain climber. We're going to start in a good plank position, abs tight. We're keeping our spine flat. It's a straight shot from my shoulders to my feet. And then we're going to rotate, bring in our knees to our chest. And you're really trying to squeeze your abs and avoid hiking your hips up, okay? If this is easy, then we add speed here, okay? Our last exercise, you can do this with a dumbbell. You can do this unweighted. You can do this with a med ball. But we're going to take our dumbbell here. Let me turn forward. We're going to take our dumbbell and we're going to dip back, and we're going to rotate side to side, touching the ground. You can leave your heels on the ground and rotate. You can lift them up. Same thing, rotate. We're trying to keep our knees and our feet still so that we're isolating the rotation above our belt. This is a great one to help generate that oblique and that abdominal strength that you need to generate club head speed. So all these exercises, you're going to want to do this routine 2 days a week at a minimum, 2 sets at least, working to fatigue. 8 to 15 reps is ideal. If that means that you're using some additional weights, great. If you don't need them today, don't use them. I'm Andrew. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.